So there's this idea called the Mar-a-Lago Accord, which is named after the 1985 Plaza Accord, because from the United States' point of view, we crushed Japan with with the Plaza Accord, best thing ever. So why don't we do that to China and everybody else at the same time? But it's particularly about China. And this idea was put forward by actually a former Harvard PhD student, although I did not have him in class, Stephen Moran. He's now on the Federal Reserve Board, but very clever guy, very clever guy. He wrote a paper saying we need to do the same thing. He wasn't in the Trump administration, but Trump loved it. And the Treasury Secretary, Scott Bessent, loved it. Power, how do we assert power? And, I would say one of the ideas in it was actually to default on our debt. If China has $2 trillion in reserves, we would say, okay, you still have $2 trillion, but we're going to tear up the debt that we owe you, and we're going to give you 100-year bonds. Yes, 100-year bonds. The bonds pay no interest until 100 years from now. We will set the interest, not at a high level. So we had this idea, we're going to default. And I don't know how many times you've heard Trump sitting next to a world leader or somebody saying, we're going to put 50% tariffs on you. It's going to be good for both of us. You're going to like this. You've heard him say that. And it's the same idea. It's so great you're getting to use the dollar. You're so lucky you get to use the dollar. It is good for you. You tear up half the debt you owe to us and such. So that idea is out there. And I'll tell you, a lot of people looked at it. It's one of the reasons foreign institutional investors have been very cautious. Number one reason why gold prices are going up is certainly people are fleeing the dollar into gold, a little bit into euro, a lot into gold, maybe some into Bitcoin. But it could happen. I not just under Donald Trump, under Gavin Newsom, he's the governor of California, possible Democratic. I don't rule out that we would default if it's in our interest. We did it 100 years ago. We defaulted on our debt. We pretend like we didn't, but the dollar used to be convertible to gold for everybody at $20 an ounce. And then in the early 1930s, we said, no, $35 an ounce, which means you needed more dollars to buy an ounce of gold. It made it worth less. It's just a default. Same as when Argentina does it. And the idea that if we had a shock hit, some political problem, some crisis, cyber war, that we wouldn't do that, I think that's very naive. I don't think it's the first line of defense. It'd be inflation, forced saving, but it's definitely on the table. And the Mar-a-Lago Accord, it sort of spilled out into the open. And then now they say, well, we'll never do that. Forget that. Believe me, Scott Bessent, he's the Treasury Secretary and mostly the voice of reason in the Trump administration. He was talking about it all the time a few months ago, certainly during the election, loved the idea. So yes, that could happen.